Loeb Stadium is packed each evening this week as kids and their families from all around the world call Lafayette home for 6 days of competitive baseball.
But that 1 week for some has meant a lifetime of work for one man. At 90 years old, Harry Bradway is considered by many to be the father of baseball and the Colt World Series in Lafayette. Gina Quattrochi joins us now with tonight's Heroes Among Us. Gina?
Well, Jeff and Nicole, it was the determination of Harry Bradway in 1969 that brought the Colt World Series to Lafayette and where it has stayed every year but one. We had a chance to sit down with the man who in many respects put Lafayette on the map. Loeb Stadium hasn't changed much since it was built in the 1940s, but it was in 1968 on a trip through Shawnee, Oklahoma, that Harry Bradway saw the facility where the Colt World Series was being played. He knew Lafayette had a better venue in Loeb Stadium.
Well, I made a trip to Texas, came back through Shawnee, and saw the facilities they had wasn't anyways near as nice as what we had. So I said, why don't we just have it in Lafayette? So I made the application, and we got it here, and we've kept it ever since.
Bradway didn't play baseball until he graduated from high school. He went on to play and manage teams and help form a Colt League in Lafayette in 1958 for kids ages 15 and 16.
I was from a small town, and you couldn't play baseball by yourself, so I had to wait until I could get in an area where there were a lot of people. And then we started having a baseball.
But it's Loeb Stadium where Harry has spent most of his years. He arrives at the park in the afternoon when games begin and doesn't leave until the night game is over. He now lives at Tippecanoe Villa in West Lafayette, but still makes it to Loeb Stadium during the World Series.
Well, it makes me feel pretty proud, I'll tell you that. And it kind of helps Lafayette, too. Puts Lafayette on the map. People would never ever come to Lafayette had it not been for that.
Harry watches the 8 teams compete for the title of Colt World Series champs. He says he hopes local kids realize what an honor it is to play in the series and to not take the tournament they grew up with for granted.
You can talk all you want to, but you can't make them realize what a privilege they have.
You've made a difference in not only the city of Lafayette, but literally hundreds of children's lives because of the game of baseball and what you've provided here.
I would imagine so, yes.
Do you ever think about that?
Never have. No. Well, maybe a little bit, but not a lot.
Harry Bradway graduated from high school in 1937. He worked in newspaper, radio, and television until he retired from broadcasting Purdue and high school athletics events in 1982. Gina Quattrochi, News Channel 18.
Thanks, Jeannie. He'll be there tonight as the Lafayette All-Stars play once again.
And if you're headed out to the Colt World Series, be prepared to sweat.
Oh, yeah.